And as our Prophet told us, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in a hadith narrated by Imam Abu Nu'aym in the Hilya, al-Yaqeen al-Imanu kulluh, is that certitude is the entirety of faith. And so this is where it all begins, is cultivating certainty in the heart. And then how do we do that? We can take direction from yet another hadith of our beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam, quoted in the same collection that was mentioned, where he commanded us ta'allumul yaqeen, to learn certitude. And how does Imam al-Ghazali understand this blessed hadith? It is to sit with the people of certitude. Sit with the great people of Allah, whose light is strong in their heart, with people with firm belief, who know their deen and who have put it into practice. And then let that certitude which is emanating from them touch your own heart, and to allow it to come inside. And this is the greatest way of all of the ways that we're going to mention to attain certitude. This is the greatest way of all, is to sit with the arbab al-yaqeen, the true scholars and righteous folk that have attained the highest degrees of certitude. And what a blessing to see them even once in your life. What a blessing to even hear about them. And no group of people are more important to be in any land, not just where we are, wherever Muslims are living on the face of this earth, than this group of people. These are the people that we want to be around, because there's something about being around them when we're in their presence, is that you and I, our own certitude grows. We start to transform. And then you and I force ourselves to be able to follow them and to do what it is that they did. There's a path that you and I then take, because it's only to the degree that we have certitude is that you and I will act, is that we will do anything that relates to our deen. It all is rooted ultimately in our certitude and the light that strikes the heart as a result and then emanates from the individual. We have to be around the right people, and we have to travel if we don't have them in our locale. And from the bounty of Allah, we even have the band-aid of being able to see them and to use these devices and that modern technology for a good purpose, which is to see the people of Allah, because they have a trait that other people don't have, is that the awliya, by the permission of Allah Ta'ala, have an ability to spiritualize technology. Normally, is that the medium of technology that makes things 1 or 2, maybe even 3 degrees removed, depending. That watching things from a distance is not like being in the gathering. Is that watching a recording after something has happened is not like watching it live. But from the blessing of the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, some of them have been permitted and guaranteed that no matter when it is that you see that particular recording, even after their life, even that years later after it was recorded, let alone live, is that you get the same blessings that people got that were sitting in the gatherings. The same nafahat and sweet breezes that they received is that you can then receive. And this is from Allah Ta'ala. And they can only speak this language if it's something that they really know, because they're the furthest people from making claims. But they sometimes want people to know, to encourage them. Our Prophet ﷺ knew that he was the greatest beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to the close companions, sometimes he would mention things that outwardly, that's the only way to explain it. Like when he meets Sayyidina Hudayfa in the street, and all of a sudden starts mentioning his various names, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and that he's the Nabi al-Rahmah, and that he's the Nabi al-Tawbah, and that he's al-Hashir, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's not a normal way that you would speak to someone, but the Prophet ﷺ saw an opportunity to be a means for Hudayfa to rise to a higher degree, because the more we love the Prophet, the closer we're going to get to Allah. And then the more that we're going to then follow them, which will ultimately lead to the love of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala.